So, welcome back guys to our farm. It's a beautiful morning here. It's a bit chilly. Look at that. I love the greenery. These are some plants here. I tried planting these. This will be cassava and some bananas. Okay. So back to poultry. So guys, this is week 5. Since we started our brooding. So we are done with the brooding. You can see we remove all the tarpaulin paper right there. So it's the room has gotten bigger. Look at that, the chicks are active, they are feeding well, the weight is good as expected from the schedule. They are playful, which means they are healthy. I think jumping up and down is one way to tell if the chicks are healthy, they are happy, you know, the basic bad stuff or behavior. So this being week 5, guys, you can notice a few changes, majorly on the weight gain, which, well, you can't see that unless we measure it. The other thing you can, generally you can look at the size of the bird is gotten bigger. The feathers are turning brown. I think you already have some which are already brown completely. Let me just look at one of them. I think this one. So this is the bird, guys, which is completely turned brown. So this should be the typical color of layer. It's a brown layer. So let me just place it down. You see, look at it. So and several others. Look at that one also. Yeah. So typically it should be like that. A big it's a brown layer should look like that when it has grown up. So guys, apart from feathers, you can also see that some of them are bigger. Some of the birds are bigger than the rest. So for instance, look at this one compared to that one. So that one is a bit smaller, this one, and then this is a bigger size. So also this one. So which means typically the bigger birds should be able to start laying earlier. Normally they should be able to start laying earlier compared to the smaller birds, because they'll need time to put on the right amount of weight before they start dropping eggs. Notice that, guys, that's completely brown. Look at that, the one that's approaching. Okay, this one, you see, that's the typical color. Look at that, it's very nice. Wow. So it should be like that. So apart from that, guys, we also have one more thing. Is just the birds, when they came, they had already been debeaked. So if I may just pick one, you can see this have a beak. It's a bit too bright, but okay, yeah, you can see that. So it has been debeaked already, and as well they were feeding. That's straight from day one. The section where it was cut, I think they used some X-ray or something, some technology that they use from the hatchery. So what happens is that as the chick starts feeding, the beak will eventually and slowly break. The two pieces will eventually break from the main beak, and then it falls off. So hence we have this. These are small, nicely debeaked birds. You can see that. Just zoom in a bit. Yeah, like that. So guys, this explains why some of these birds were very expensive. They were costing, I think, $1.40. So if you're here in Kenya, that should be 140 shillings. It's typically expensive compared to broilers, which cost less than $1. So that explains why. And then I think the other thing that may have contributed to the higher price could be maybe the vaccines. The Merix vaccine is very expensive, as I know. So the vaccine, and then the debeaking. So I think those are the two things that made the bird a bit more expensive compared to the broilers. So guys, my birds have been very successful in terms of livability, in terms of surviving the first 1 month. So I still have all the 400. I was given actually 404 birds. They added me 4 chicks to the ones that I ordered. So 3 of them died, Typically I explained that in the previous video, but I still have already 401, so I still have the original number that I had budgeted for. So which means, guys, I haven't lost any money from this so far. So in the previous video last week, guys, we explained, I mentioned some of the 3 major things you're supposed to consider before you bring in your chicks, and even after you have brought in the chicks. So to consider those 3 before which if you keenly observe, you may be able to raise chicks which are healthy and they are able to survive any conditions in your brooder. So today, guys, in this video, this is being week 5, I'll discuss some of the small things that people may ignore or farmers may ignore out there, but they are very important to look at as your chicks are continue growing. So at this time, I think they should be called pullets. That should be the typical word, okay? I don't know, maybe pullets. I think that should be the word. So, guys, one of the things, small things that someone may ignore is you may find for a feeder like this, you may find a poop in the feed. So just look at this. This one doesn't have any poop in it. There are no droppings yet. Maybe move to the next one. Yeah, for instance, this one, guys, has some poop in it. So I'll just try to remove that. So as you can see, yes, also this one. So small droppings in the feed. So what you're supposed to do before you bring in or add, when the chicks are done feeding, you actually have to throw these away. If they're done feeding, you throw these away because it has already been mixed with poop. You remove the poop, you wash it. So some people may find it difficult to, maybe if you're in a hurry, and then you just place the food, additional food, on top of the poop. So that should be the problem. So that could be a big problem, considering the fact that if it's dark, the chicks won't be able to, differentiate between some of the feeds and the poop, especially if the poop is watery. So the food becomes watery, and the chicks won't be able to know the difference. So they may end up eating that. So that brings about coccidiosis. That's a very dangerous disease in the farm. So another small thing, guys, is the litter. Now, before you bring in the litter, guys, very small typical issues about the litter is that it has to be sprayed, disinfected, maybe from outside, and then dried. Maybe typically you can place it on a, so you can place it on a tarpaulin like this one, what I did here. You place it on a tarpaulin and then you spread it well before you spray it. So this is that's to disinfect it because you don't know where it came from, because typically what they do, farmers, is that they collect the litter from different areas and it's actually disinfected first before you bring into the barn. So another small thing, guys, on biosecurity is actually the water. So if you look at this drinker right here, you can see there's some dirt in it. This is water, but there's some dirt in it. Maybe the chicks, as you can see, they were scratching all around, and then some dirt, some sawdust fell in it, and it could also be their droppings. So what you're supposed to do is actually to pour this water out, before replacing it, because what happens is that when some of the droppings contain coccidia, which is actually a parasite that causes coccidiosis, and in water condition like that, it is perfect for its environment to actually grow and multiply, and therefore when the chick drinks in the parasite, it becomes infected. So one more thing, guys, the feeders are supposed to be washed with soap once every week, and then the drinkers, as it's every day, because of the depending on the conditions that you are in. For instance, this one I'm placing them on the floor, so this one is supposed to be washed every day with soap. But for feeders, you can wash them once a week with soap. But typically when they get dirty, I'm talking about the plastic ones, like these ones, so you can just wash with water That's what they recommend. So another very last thing, guys, is about on water is actually chlorination. As you know, adding chlorine to water kills bacteria, so they recommend that you add chlorine to water, the drinking water, that is at least twice a week in the water. You know, whether it's borehole water or just rainwater that you have collected in a tank, both of which actually contain bacteria and other worms in it. So you may want to kill that bacteria and worms by adding chlorine to water. So guys, if you consider whatever I've just mentioned and then you observe them keenly in your farm, you may be able to raise a healthy bird, and a bird that can be able to live, you know, a very long time. Okay, I just end this here. So guys, that's it for this week. This is week 5. So see you next week, week 6, as we look at the more important things as the birds grow. So we want to look at the progress of the birds as illustrated in the schedule that we have. So we will be matching the weight, we'll be measuring the weight to see if this matches what is in the schedule. So we'll be looking at many other things, observing them, so that we move together with what is in the program, the guiding program, guys, up to the point where the birds start laying, to see if they actually give us the 330 eggs that we were told, guys, by the supplier. So that's it, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share this video with other farmers around you, so that you may be able to benefit, guys, from these projects.